everybody, myself is Surjit Thakre. I am the first Indian artist who has achieved a postgraduate degree in easel painting from the Academy of Fine Arts, Repin Institute of Painting, Sculpture and Architecture in St. Petersburg, Russia. I am also the founder president of Rarix Art Club, affiliated to Russian Center of Science and Culture, New Delhi. I have an experience of 40 years as a professional artist. Let us start our own composition. To start, first of all, you have to draw the composition. I am using here the flat brush to make the final sketch on the paper. Now we have to think of color combination. In this picture we will use contrast color combination. Complementary colors are placed exactly opposite to each other on the color wheel. They are also opposite in nature to each other, hence the name, that is orange, is warm in nature, whereas blue, that is exact opposite of orange, is a cool color. Even though they are opposite to each other in nature, yet they actually help in enchanting the effect of the color, which is opposite. Hence, in a way, they complement or complete the effect each other, and thus they are also complementary colors. Contrast is somehow clearer to understand in drawing because you have a white piece of paper and a dark pencil. It feels natural. If you transfer the same level of contrast to painting, it can seem daunting and the areas of dark can look too heavy. However, it is very important to have a range of contrast in your paintings from black to white to truly show off the colors. To start, paint mix cerulean blue and light blue permanent. Thin with water, apply in small patches from the left corner. Blue is very pleasing color and it suits the eyes, so it is good to combine with warm tone of yellow or color with reddish tinge. Colors that fall in the region of red, orange or bright yellow are referred to as warm, and colors that fall in the region of blue, green and purple are called cool colors. have to paint light blue at the left side with thick and with the cross hatching process. Extend this color toward the right side. Note how some of the blue is kept slightly deeper than the rest to make that area heavy. This deep color or heavy color is also known as giving depth to an area. Now add some water and thin the color. Apply vertical brush strokes with fan brush on the pot. Don't overlap the strokes. Keep transparencies. Make the contour of the flower. When you have the tone, ground it act as your mid-tone. The white is your brightest light and burnt umber can as the dark. After this initial painting of color in the pot, we move towards the right side of the area. Here we will take a tint by mixing Persian blue and cerulean blue. Apply at the right corner of the composition. Extend this color towards the left. Make the edges of the foam sharp. For making the blue color light, use water. Make the color thinner to make it look lighter. Don't mix white for this purpose. Continue this shading till the mixing with the other side. Make the sharp contour of the pot from the left and right side. In any watercolor painting, whether the technique is gouache or just watercolor is used, white color is mostly avoided. Blend the color with light blue. Here also we are using cross hatching process. We will overlap the color to give the dimension. The patches will be very closely packed in some areas and widespread in some other areas. Now take thin glue again and add this pen selectively over the yellow lower area base. Then some dark patches has to be given to the middle area. Yellow and blue are the main colors here and they together create complementary harmony. Yellow will be painted in flowers in between the blue patches. Make the dark ellipse of the pot. Give some dark strokes vertical at the pot. Now we will concentrate on the middle area, which is the main area of the painting. Round brush is to be used now rather than fan brush that we have been using mostly up till now. Make the contour sharp. Dark blue is again painted in selective patches in between the forms of flowers in the middle area. The theory of simultaneous contrast is based on a very simple equation. Simultaneously occurring at the same time, something next to something else will affect it visually by its opposite. The more pronounced the contrast between the two areas, noticeable the effect. For example, a mid-value gray will appear lighter when placed next to or onto something darker, and it will appear darker when placed next to or onto something lighter. The perception of color temperature will also shift depending on what surrounds an individual color. For example, yellow will appear warmer, more orange when placed alongside blue, but it becomes cooler, more green when placed proximity to red. As painters, this phenomenon can be the reason why a certain color, value or tone that work very well in one painting will appear wrong in the next. The color itself didn't change, just its surroundings. This situation comes up for landscape painters when attempting to accurately interpret the value range and color temperature within a shadow and sunlit areas of a scene. What is often identified as the light within a shadow mask or dark within a sunlit mask is considerably darker and lighter than first perceived. This has led many painters to embrace a simple rule: the lightest light in a shadowed mass is the darkest dark in a sunlit mass. Forcing oneself to follow this rule will set up the big value relationship in the painting and allow for additional minor accents of light and dark to achieve a desired outcome. Make the tint of green color apply in the branches. Mix the pure yellow medium apply in the form of the flowers. Use of complementary colors, blue and yellow, enhances the contrast between the colors in this composition. So here two colors opposite in nature are actually complementing each other. One has to have good understanding of where to apply what color, especially the dull ones, as they can easily spoil your painting. Understanding of which color will be good and where it should be applied comes with experience and need a lot of practice. This cosmos also demonstrates the fact that color is relative and that high contrast creates much more impactful results. Once the dark area around the yellow center is in place, the contrast is so strong that the yellow seems to jump out in composition, drawing the eye and creating much more impact. Now put some depth in the flowers. Take orange, apply in the shadow area. Notice how the color is being filled with in small patches. And our eyes tend to be drawn to the area of a painting with the greatest contrast, where light tones meet dark tones. So having plenty of these areas within a painting makes it more dramatic and impactful. A painting with high contrast has a wide tonal range, from very light tones to very dark tones. And creating high contrast within a painting makes it appear more 3D. For the depth, take Indian red and make the outline and darkest point. Make a tint mixing yellow and white. Apply it in the lighter area. Paint thick and old patch. In acrylic, we have to be so careful not to take any areas of our paintings darker than they need to be, because we can't really lighten them again once we have done that. And because color is relative, meaning it appears differently depending on the color surrounding it. I find that it's only by getting the lightest and darkest tone in place early on that I can accurately assess how dark I need to take my mid-tone. Working on the mid-tones is the process of bridging of the gap between the light and the dark tones. And once the mid-tones are in place, it is usually possible to judge that the darkest tones need a further and final darkening, again widening the tonal range. I organize the opposition between colors, lines and curves. I set curves against straight lines, patches of colors against plastic foam, pure color against softly nuanced shades of grey. Fernand trigger. Light green apply at the corner of the flower. Some forms in nature or in states of transition are toned, others spongy, still other powdery. Take such varied contrasts and project them into a flat surface, whether in a composition or as handwritten notes accidentally jotted down. Julius Vissier.